Hello guys, welcome back to the next part of Let's Paint a Commissar. So the next part we're going to begin with is painting the flesh. So for the base coat I like to use the Army Painter War Paints for the flesh tones, and this is Barbarian Flesh. Really do recommend these Army Painter War Paints. They're better than some of GW's bases. And they go on quite nice compared to some of GW's newer colours. So it's maybe a bit hard for me to do on camera, but basically we're just going to start applying this to all the skin tones. Now remember, don't go over the astronomical grey, as that is basically the base for the eyes. And we're just going to be painting all the flesh on this guy now. So I just have to do a bit of camera mix. This bit is very difficult to do by here now. I don't really want to get it everywhere. I probably ballsed it up already, but hey ho. Yeah, I've already got a bit on the black, but it doesn't matter. We can sort that out when it comes to the touch-ups later on in the tutorial now. So I want to make sure I get around the eyes tidy. And around the neck as well. So, and with these, I find that you can always do the hands optional as a paint, because commissars are known to wear gloves. But for the purposes of this, I am going to paint the fingers and the hands on this. So let's do this off camera quickly, because I just want to get the edge. I don't want to go back onto the red. I've just painted the border. And I've left quite a few things out because I've planned this in a sense where I can do things while the other parts of the model are drying. And so if you're thinking, why haven't I done it in this order? It's just for the purposes of this and to allow it to dry. Well, I can just continue making footage. Let's get that bit done there. One more hand to go, guys. I do apologise. This is just very tricky to do while holding it in front of a camera. So that's all of the flesh base coating done for now. We'll be going back for very light highlights on this at a later point at time. So for the next part now, we're going to finish off all the detailing on the carapace. So we'll begin with the gold. Now, I'm going to be going for the GW paint, the old paint, I don't know what it's called now, is burnished gold. I've had this years, this paint, and it's still very wet, and they don't really use it other than that. It's a nice bright gold, and when it dries, it does darken, so if you use this paint, don't worry about it being too bright, because it will dull down when it dries. Now this, you may have to apply in 2 coats, but if you have a brown base coat, it should just dry up nicely, like it normally does, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think this depends on the age of the paint, and that's like that, like so. Let's just get this to focus again. Focused. Then the next part on the carapace will be painting white. I'll be using ceramite white from the Citadel range. Again, as I'm still in the slow transition of transferring over to the Vallejo and Army Painter, just want to use up all the paints I got at the moment. So I'll paint these leaf things by here white. And we'll paint the leaves on the hat white as well. so with all the white done now, for now, I'm just going to paint the gold on his hat a minute. So the same with burnished gold. Need a very fine tip for this. Just get the belt. There's a skull on the top of this hat by here. Then there's these 2 ribbons going across his hat like so. Like that. So just make sure I haven't touched anything wet. So with that part done now, we'll give this a minute to dry, and I'll see you in a second, guys. So welcome back, guys, to the next part of this tutorial. Okay, for this part now, we're going to do another load of washing. So we'll start by washing the skin tone. So for this, you are going to want Right-hand Flesh shade. You are then going to want Surf shade, and I don't know if I'm using the right colour for this, but it will be a Surin blue. So we'll begin with the Flesh shade. Then we'll be applying this all to the flesh colours onto the model. Now I find with the Flesh shade, it never goes on the way I want it to, so sometimes I have to put on roughly about 2 coats of this. It all depends how well it goes on from time to time. Like so. Don't be afraid to apply a bit too much on this, it will just run off anyway. And you know, it all depends how dark you want the skin tones to go and the shadowing effect on this. Like so. Okay, finish it off. So for the next part we'll use where the fuck did I just put that? Okay, we'll do the stone blue next. So we'll apply this very finely to the white areas. This will just give it a slight shadowing effect. So sometimes you may just have to dab a bit off with your finger. Don't want too much on there. You just want enough to make it look 3-dimensional. Okay. Thank you, and then that's that bit. So that's the wash applied to the blue. Now it'll just give it, I don't know if it'll come out on there, but it will just give it a slight shadow to the white. And then the next bit is the Surf shade, and we'll apply that just to the gold, just to give some shadow and a bit of a duller effect to the gold. So begin by painting it on the Aquila, on the carapace, on the skull, and on the... Right, so we will now let these dry, and then we'll be coming back for the next part of the video. So see you in a second. Okay then guys, so then last part of the details, we're just going to do the last of the metal highlights now. So we'll do some highlighting on the carapace and some other bits which I've missed out by accident. So I'll try and get this bit. Stay. So on the carapace, we're going to highlight it with Gunmetal by Vallejo Game Colour. So we're just going to highlight around the edges. Like so. Just highlight up all the edges on the armour. Then there's 2 skulls I missed on the bolt pistol. We'll also paint those up in gunmetal. And anything else we missed. So with that now done, what we're going to do now is paint the trim on the base, and that'll be the end of this tour. So I'll see you in a second, guys. We've just painted up trim, and see you in a second. Okay then, guys, so then last part of the details, we're just going to do the last of the metal highlights now. So we'll do some highlighting on the carapace and some other bits which I've missed out by accident. So I'll try and get this bit. Stay. So on the carapace, we're gonna highlight it with gunmetal by Vallejo Game Color. So we're just gonna highlight around the edges. Like so. Just highlight up all the edges on the armour. Then there's 2 skulls I missed on the bolt pistol. We'll also paint those up in gunmetal. And anything else we missed. So with that now done, what we're going to do now is paint the trim on the base, and that'll be the end of this tour. So I'll see you in a second, guys. We've just painted up trim, and see you in a second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that's the end of the tutorial. He's now been matte varnished and everything, and the trim on the base is done. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how I would paint my Commissar. Pretty happy with the result. There's a slight mist on it due to the fucking dampness in this country, but it's not too noticeable. I hope you guys can see that as well as I can. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles.